Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Picks with David. It is Championship Sunday in the NFL. The NFC and AFC Championship games played today. We've got two picks, plus I'm going to give a couple of my best bets. Let's begin with game number one. A very exciting matchup in the AFC for the AFC Championship. We have the number 3 seed and defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, at the number 1 seed, Baltimore Ravens. Played at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. This game will have all the makings of a classic. We've got two very different styles of offense. The Kansas City Chiefs have come in and have struggled throughout the regular season, but have relied on a lot more simplistic offense in the postseason. They are getting their playmakers involved. They have cut down on their penalties. They have cut down on turnovers. And it feels like they're hitting on all cylinders, especially when it comes to their defense. And in this game, we're going to see two of the top defenses in the NFL. And the Chiefs come to town with a lot of playoff experience. They've already played 2 games, including getting their very first win on the road with Patrick Mahomes as quarterback in Buffalo. So they're used to going into a hostile environment. Patrick Mahomes actually has a better record on the road than he does at home. But it's going to be a whole nother situation today in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson leads this team on what is expected to be an MVP season for him. You know, he is a dynamic quarterback because not only can he throw the ball down the field, but he has the ability to move and be extremely quick out of the pocket and get the ball down the field running the ball. And so we're going to see them pretty much as healthy as they have been all year. Baltimore gets Mark Andrews back in this game. So I expect to see a lot of running against this Kansas City Chiefs defense. That really has been their Achilles heel for years. If they could avoid, the pass rush coming at them and they can keep this defense honest, I think obviously Kansas City is probably going to have a spy on Lamar Jackson, an individual player that will definitely be keeping an eye on him, will shadow him and follow him wherever he goes. I thought that it would be Willie Gay, but he's coming off of a neck injury. I'm unsure whether or not he will be able to do that at all or will even participate in the game. And so I think it could possibly be Drew Tranquill, the free agent they brought in from the Chargers this offseason. He is very swift on his feet as well, a great tackler, and I think that if he shadows Lamar Jackson, the Chiefs defense will have some success. As far as the Ravens offense goes, once again, expect them to run the ball a lot. I think they're going to use a lot of double tight end sets. They've got Mark Andrews coming back, as I mentioned before, but they have Isaiah Likely. And the two of these guys are really great pass-catching tight ends. They can block a little bit to set up those running paths, and then the play-action pass will come in to play. Look for the rookie Zay Flowers at wide receiver to make some big plays. Down the field, I think that, the Ravens will have a really good game plan against Kansas City. And I think that while I want the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game, I really think that at some point in time, Patrick Mahomes is not going to win a game. He has not ever played, in a game that was not, a playoff game. He's always made it to the AFC Championship every year as a starter. He lost at home to Cincinnati a couple of years ago. I think there's a chance he loses on the road today in Baltimore. I'm going to root for the Chiefs, but I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to win the game today. Now, for best bets in this particular game, I think it would be very smart of folks to rely on Lamar Jackson to get a touchdown. I think you can expect Isaiah Pacheco, who is hobbled with an ankle injury, but I expect him to play, and he will get a touchdown. If you parlay that with both of the quarterbacks, alternate passing yards, getting over 200 yards passing each of them, I think that's a pretty safe, good bet for you today in this game. Let's move on to the NFC Championship. In the NFC Championship game, you've got the Detroit Lions going to their first NFC Championship game, only the second one in their history, trying to make it to the very first Super Bowl in their history. The 49ers have a storied, playoff history and Super Bowl history, and so these are really conflicting views coming in here. Both teams are predicated on running the football. The Lions have a double-headed attack with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, the rookie. Christian McCaffrey runs the ball for the most part for the 49ers, but they've got Deebo Samuel who runs the ball out of the backfield. Both teams have dynamic playmakers at the wide receiver position, but I really feel like the 49ers have the edge defensively. They have Pro Bowlers on both their line, their linebackers, and in the secondary, all pro players all around. And, I think that it would be really awesome to see both the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl, and we would basically have a rematch of the opening day game of the year. But I think that the number one seeds, Baltimore, San Francisco in this case, are the superior teams. I think that if Brock Purdy does not turn the ball over, they're able to run the football with consistency. I think the defense can take care of itself, and I expect the 49ers to win the game today. Now, Detroit can win, and there are some keys to winning, and it's basically to continue to pound the ball. The 49ers have been gashed on the ground with the running game the last several times they've played some really premier running games. Baltimore did it to them in the regular season, and Green Bay did it to them last week in a game that a lot of people feel like the 49ers should have lost. So if they pound Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery at the 49ers, pick up a few plays here and there when it comes to the passing game with Jared Goff, then I expect that Detroit can stay in this game and keep it close. If Purdy makes a mistake, if they could force a fumble, Detroit very much could make it to the Super Bowl, but I'm going to take the 49ers to win the game today in the Bay Area. Best bets in this game, Christian McCaffrey with a touchdown, both quarterbacks throwing for over 225 yards on the alternate passing yardage, and then the most likely player to score a touchdown for the Detroit Lions is Amon-Ra St. Brown. You could see Sam Laporta in that move also, but, I would parlay a few different things together, perhaps even parlay both games together if you feel real confident about the touchdown scores today. So there is your outlook of the championship games. And so there's your picks with David. I want to thank everybody for joining me throughout the season. We just got one more game to go, and that's Super Sunday. Hopefully I will be fully recovered from whatever it is that's been going around. I know my voice sounds a lot better today. My back's feeling a lot better thanks to some of you who have asked how I am doing. And so, happy Championship Sunday, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time right here on Facebook and YouTube.